Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. The Double RT Boxing Show is on. I am your host, Mr.A. Thank you for your time and support. I appreciate it. As you can see by the subscriber count, we are a small government-funded rehab center for us boxing junkies. So feel free, sign in at the front desk when you feel you want to come on and join the club here. We are all junkies. I am Mr.A, and I'm addicted to ring generalship. My favorite fighter is Aries Landy Lara, the 150-pound WBA regular champion. So I think that's a nice little tie-in, considering Anthony Fowler is the 154-pound international champion. And this is the only fight. I predicted wrong in this picks I did for this weekend. And I will be honest, the only reason, if I were to remember one thing, if I would have remembered just one simple thing, I would have not picked it as an upset. If I would have remembered Fowler went with McGuigan, I would have chose Anthony Fowler to win this fight. But I forgot he was with McGuigan. I thought he was still the same old flat-footed Frankenstein, come forward and try and just maul you out the ring. And I gotta say, I like the little difference, because around the time I always heard, when I created this show in 2017, I always heard the name Anthony Fowler, but I didn't quite know who he was. Just watching the fights, I heard the commentaries talk about this young coming power. And I seen the body work. I'm like, all right, cool. I like Anthony Fowler. So I was watching a couple of his fights. I was a fan. But then I started noticing how he just fell in love with the power and nothing wasn't improving. And then that upset with Scott Fitzgerald. So I was like, okay, he's been, just as the world said, like, okay, he's been exposed. It was finally, you only get away or get so far in the sport of boxing with just power. Deontay Wilder, perfect example. So seeing the difference that, like I said, I thought what's his name, Fortea, I picked him on an upset because I thought the movement was going to do him. And just like everyone was saying, like, oh, this fight's going to go to the scorecards. Because everyone, even the commentators, thought the movement was going to give Fowler trouble. And the power, that power just beat the shit out of him. I do got to say, built behind the setup of the jab and the calm instructions that Fowler followed from McGuigan, I think definitely his power benefited from that. Now, that being said, it was an easy fight. It wasn't really nothing too challenging for Fowler once he landed that shot. It was a crazy, that first knockdown, he caught him, with a, can you say it was kind of a shotgun jab? Or did he just catch him in the middle of that hook? It was a strange one. Like a little off balance, a hellified shotgun jab. But the way he got up, it kind of let you know he was a little off balance. But when fight, when fight, when that came down, he just came and just first punch, bow, put him back on the ground. Okay, Fowler power. It's looking good. Now, after the fight, they're talking about Sergio Garcia. He has a fight coming up against. He has a fight coming up in April, and we're gonna get a little more into that. Sergio Garcia, the EBU European Super Welterweight Champion. Now, in the WBA rankings, because Fowler is saying, I'm 30. I could fight Cheeseman. I could fight Metcalf, the winner for the British belt. But I feel I'm going to smash those guys too. I want to go to the next level. I want to fight a fight where I'm going to have to quit, but I'm not going to quit. But I want that feeling of quitting on the corner on my stool because it's a hard fight. I want that feeling, but I'm not going to quit. So he doesn't want a British level fight. He doesn't want the local domestic fight. He says he's going to smash Cheeseman. He's going to smash Metcalf. Whoever wins that belt, if that's the best fight he's going to get, he's going to smash them because he feels he's beyond the domestic British level now. Now we're looking at this rankings at 154, according to the Box Rec. We'll start from the bottom, because Fowler, the international champion, he could fight anyone in the UK. That's where that belt allows him to travel. It's not an intercontinental. It's not a continental. It's just a international. So we got number 15. I think will be a good fight for him. But why go that far back? From what I've seen of this guy, the guy punches pretty damn hard. And I think he has still some room for improvement. That's Curran Conway. Like I said, why go back to 15 when you're already number 12 trying to get a better shot? You got Herman Rudon of Venezuela. That's out of the question. Now, if he wants to go to America, to get a name, American audience knows, you could fight number 13, Jorge Cota. You could fight number 11, Jamonte Clark, who just got knocked out by Goucher. So I don't know how good that would be. You got Cota, like I said, at number 13. Who knows? At number 10, you got a Makaron Shiganov. I don't see that one really happening. No one knows him, and it won't do no good for Fowler. And this one, number 9, is interesting because they're talking about that Garcia EBU title. But coming in April 23rd, Garcia is fighting number 9 for the WBA, Dylan Sherratt. So they're talking about Garcia. He might lose. He might have to do a rematch. Who knows what that fight? So then you got number 8, Larahaga, Kareem. Ever since his losses to David Anavesian, he moved up to 154. And he's getting these local softball touches. Local softball touches. So with that, I don't think anyone's going to give Fowler any notches in his belt for taking that one. And he's trying to, like I said, he's 30 years old. He wants that opportunity to become a world great fighter. This at number 7, this is where it gets interesting for him. This is where it starts, and maybe it starts to happen. Tim Tszyu is number 7. He's the WBO global champion, and so he has a high ranking up over there for Brian Castellano in the WBO. Like I said, again, him being the global champion. Will they try and see if they could defeat Tim Tszyu down in Australia for that spot? Who knows? Then you got former champion Jensen Rosario. That's a good name. A lot of these fighters have not fought since like January or March of 2020. At number 5, you got Magnomov Korbanov. But he's fighting May 8th against Liam Smith for the WBO International, which is just another organization version of what Fowler already has. He has the WBA International, and that fight is for the WBO. I have Korbanov. I got him beating Liam Smith. And number 4, you got J-Rock. Now that's, like I said, from 4 on up, very interesting fights. Very interesting. Like him and J-Rock, who knows how that's going to go. Number 3, you got Jared Hurd, who hasn't fought since January of 2020. I think he's with the new trainer, Coach K. Kimura. I think that's who he's with. Then you got Jared Hurd. Then you got number 2, Sebastian Fundora. I'm surprised I haven't heard nothing about him yet, considering I won't be surprised if he's somehow on the undercard of that Tank and Barrios fight, the way PBC is trying to promote him. And then you got number 1 Israel Madrimov. He's fighting April 3rd, 2021. Like I said, out of these 15, and him not going backwards, and him being number 12 himself, the best fights I was going to say for him, since he was the international, and I know France is a different country, but he would need the continental belt, but he could still fight number 9, Dillian Sharia, but he's fighting Sergio Garcia. So what else does it leave him? Tim Tszyu, unless he's going to go for those domestic Cheeseman fights, Metcalf, go to Kerwin Conway. But before we close it out here, again, thank you for your time and support. What if I was Eddie Hearn, Team Matchroom, the promoter of Anthony Fowler, what I would keep an eye on is the up-and-coming fight between Aries Landy Lara, my favorite fighter, and Thomas Lamana. And the reason why I say that, Aries Landy Lara is the WBA 154 world champion. He's going to fight Lamada for the vacant 160 world title. The same belt he has at 154, he's going up to 160 to get that version. So why is he going up? I don't know, maybe the age. Finally, he doesn't want to lose that last little bit of weight. Catching up to him, a sad sight as my favorite fighter. Probably knockouts waiting for him to come. But back on subject, if that title is going to be vacant, and Eddie Hearn seems to have a pretty good relationship with the WBA, if he can't fight for it, he should start trying to get into talks to what is going to happen with that belt once Aries Landy Lara fights Thomas Lamada. Let me get an eliminator for that title. Let me just go ahead and fight for that vacant title. That's what I would. If I was Fowler, I would try, and if I was Eddie Hearn, I would try and see what I could do for Fowler, just to get him that shot. Now the way Eddie Hearn he looked out and gave Tony Bellew that shot. He looked out and gave Rocky Fielding. When I started the show, Rocky Fielding, Eddie Hearn was just trying to do anything to give him just a loyalty, nice guy reward. So maybe he could give Anthony Fowler that. Hey, I'm going to reach out for the WBA. Aries Landy Lara is moving up. He's about to vacate this title. We're going to see if we can just jump from 12 and fight for the vacant title, or get that title eliminator. So in 2 fights, we could fight for that title. That's my thoughts on Anthony Fowler. He looked good with McGuigan. Looked good being slow. Looked good behind the jab. The power was always there. He was a smothering guy. And it looks good to see him boxing like the rumors I heard of him. Thank you for your time and support. This is the Double RT Boxing Show. Stay tuned in.